Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is officially my very first video, so thank you for being here at the very beginning of what I hope will be super helpful journey into the world of UK employment law and UK HR essentials. So why this channel? Well, whether you're an HR professional, a student, a people manager, or even just an employee who is trying to understand your right, this is the channel for you. My aim is to break down UK employment legislation into simple, practical, and real life examples that make sense without any stress. So, in this first video, we are going right to the foundation. So, what actually constitutes an employment and the sources of employment law? Because before we get into grievances, unfair dismissal, or flexible working, we need to understand the core relationship between an employer and the employee. From the contract to work status, and from case laws to tribunal ruling. It all starts from here. So, by the end of this series, you will know what defines employment in the UK, how employment law works, and why is it important for both HRT and employees. So, the most fundamental question asked is whether a particular person is an employee or not. It is important to able to distinguish a contract of employment from other type of agreement under which the services are rendered, which means whether a particular person is doing work for another is working as an employee under a contract of employment or an independent contractor who is self-employed person under a contract of services. Sources of employment law. What is meant by sources of employment law? Which simply means where the rules about work comes from. It's just like asking who makes the rules and where do we find them. In the UK, these rules don't come from just one place, they come from several different sources. So let's see one by one. So, first one is common law. What exactly is common law? Well, unlike laws passed by Parliament called statute law, common laws are made by judges. It evolves through court decisions over time. Whenever a court rules on legal issues, that judgment can become precedent, which means future cases with similar factors might be decided in the same way. This system is important in employment law because legislation does not always cover every possible workplace situation. That's where the courts step in to interpret, clarify, and fill in the gaps. Alright, let's break down some key concepts under common law in employment. I'll keep it simple and give you real world examples so it sticks. First one is contract of employment. Think of this as a rule book. Both you and your employer agree to follow. It's not just a written contract, you also have implied terms. For example, mutual trust and confidence. The employer shouldn't act in a way that destroys your trust, and you should act in a good faith towards them. Notice period. If someone's leaving, both sides usually need to give notice before ending the job. So even if it's not in black and white, the law says some rules are always there. The second source is wrongful dismissal. This is when the employer breaks the contract when ending your employment. For example, if your contract says you must get 1 month's notice, but they let you go today with no pay for the month, that's wrongful dismissal. It's about the contract, not whether the reason was fair or unfair. The third source is vicarious liability. This is a fancy legal term for the boss take the hit for what employees do at work. If an employee causes harm while doing their job, the employer can be legally responsible. For example, a delivery driver gets into an accident while on a work delivery. If they were doing their job, the company could be liable. Fourth one is duty of care. Your employer must take responsible steps to keep you safe at work. This includes providing proper equipment, training, and a safe working environment. It's not just about avoiding accidents, it's about protecting your physical and mental health. While summarizing, I would like to highlight common law shapes a lot of your working life, even when you have never seen it written down. So it's likely invisible framework that hold the employment relationship together. In our next video, we will be talking about other sources of employment like statute law in employment, employment tribunals, and high court rulings. So if you like the video, Please support the channel by subscribing. Thank you so much for watching.